working in radio with Hip Dad Radio, but this is a radio drama, like you all mentioned. What do you feel was the most challenging about creating a radio drama versus just your radio station?
Yeah, I mean, I have never really written anything before, and I've or directed anything, and George hasn't either, I don't think. So I mean, what I do in Hip Dad Radio, I more promote like artists and like musicians and stuff, bands, play music and stuff, and that's kind of like what the Hip Dad Radio really does. But I got dreams, I got passions, I want to make stuff, so I'm like, why not? It kind of fits in the realm, so.
Great.
And for this, too, we had to find the right talent, right? We went through so many rounds, of grueling auditions.
I bet.
We had so much demand, for this project. It was insane. I mean, but
only the biggest names.
Yeah, that's right. And we found the best people that were available. And we were so excited that they were willing to take on this project with us, right? I mean, that was probably the hardest part, I would say.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But, well, not really. I mean, everyone knew, when they found out about the project, they jumped at the opportunity.
Well, right, yeah.
And, like, there were so many people, like, who we had to, reject, and it was just hard. It's not easy, but...
But you all demand perfection.
Yeah, and there's so much talent out there, so, Yeah.
Well, you've known a lot of these people who are on your cast for a long time. Whose performance, not to, draw favorites, but whose performance surprised you the most?
Surprised? Well, Luke was great. Luke as Clifton, he's kind of the eccentric owner of the power plant. That's great. Jared did a great job as one of the evil characters. Don't want to spoil it too much.
Yeah.
My brother Alex did Scooter the dog.
We've heard a lot about the dog character. I'm excited.
It's a very funny character.
Yeah.
It's totally not what you think is going to happen, which is awesome.
Lauren Sheeman filled in so much. Every time we needed a comedic role, anytime we needed comic relief, Lauren was there for us.
I know you said not to stand out. I mean, obviously Lydia is amazing.
Yeah,
She's
that
a voice.
wasn't surprising, though.
That's not surprising.
But
Rocky,
yeah.
our leads, and Curtis, the narrator, doesn't get enough love, but he had the most lines, and it was awesome.
And we gave Curtis a tough time. We gave him some tongue twisters that,
He said that his favorite note from you all was to read through the typos.
Yep. Yeah.
We wrote fast, even though it took 2 years. We wrote fast.
That's great. And as we know, there is music in this production. Jared, can you tell us a little more about your process of creating music for Cherry Lake?
Yes. Well, so they handed me the script, and I had to read through all of it and really try to figure out what each scene was missing. Because unlike a traditional TV show where you can have visuals to aid, really bring the viewer along, everything has to be done just through audio signals. So I had to do a lot of research. I listened to a lot of music from that era, watched scenes that were similar to the ones that were written, and really tried to put it all together and make sure that the listener really feels like they're in the environment that the scene is taking place in.
Yeah, fantastic. I love
I'm
that.
excited for people to hear the music because it really sets the scene so well. It really made it come to life, I would say, right? I mean, it was just words on a page before, right? And then the actors come in, make it a real experience, and then the music and sound effects.
And the editing. I mean, Jared did all the editing. I did a little bit, but nothing compared to what Jared did. I started it and realized I'm not good at this.
We all have our own strengths. And you all have known each other for quite a few years now. What do you feel you've learned that's new about each other in this collaborative experience?
That's a really good question. I feel like I kind of know how these guys work. This is one of the biggest projects, if not the biggest project I've ever done in my entire life. And just navigating people's schedules, learning, how, George and I are more idea guys and writers, and we didn't even know that Jared, had all these talents. I mean, we knew he was good at music, but then all of a sudden, it's one song he posts and it's like he's got a mandolin. And you're like, oh, you have a mandolin?
He just owns a mandolin, and it sounds flawless.
It was needed, clearly. Thank goodness you had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, these guys, they were in it 100%, and the cast somehow stuck with us the whole time, even though it took us forever. So many re-recordings that it's embarrassing. And I think we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot about, if we had to do it again, we could do it so much faster and better.
Yeah, how many times did we say it was the final re-record?
I know.
We just...
one more time.
Yeah, just one more, we promise, yeah.
Yeah, but...
No, that's fantastic. And looking back, can you give us your favorite memory from production?
I love just when everyone was in the room, right, and we could do scenes live. Because it would have been so easy, right, to do it virtually, right, do it remotely where everyone's just in their own space. But we really wanted people to interact off of each other live and get kind of a realer experience that way. And it was really fun to experience that,
and it's
I
just
think.
like people hanging out, and like some people like didn't even know each other before this,
Yeah.
so it was cool to see that, connections, that people now are friends, and which is cool,
And Jared, what about you?
Well, I think there was a lot of magic, kind of like what George was saying, when everyone was in the room recording together, especially when a scene was unfolding and everyone kind of had to keep their laughs suppressed until recording was finished, and everyone would finish with a big smile and laugh once, we finally got the cut.
Well, you all have been working on this for a couple of years now, and sometimes when you're working on a project, it's kind of easy to, get lost in all the details and get stressed about everything. But what do you like? Did you have people around who you felt like were really good soundboards who were outside of, the general production team, or were you all able to just kind of keep it between the three of you all and work through it?
Yeah, well, my wife Blair, obviously, was a great soundboard for me, great inspiration for a lot of the work too. She's actually one of the cast members too, and plays 2 roles and does a phenomenal job as Sarah Ward and Mrs. Papadopoulos. But definitely was the support I needed.
Yeah, I mean, obviously my girlfriend Cameron, she did the playbill. I didn't know her till then, but she, yeah.
Oh, hi, welcome.
Wow.
How's everyone doing? Hello.
This guy played the mayor, and
Welcome, Mayor.
he's got an assertive voice, as you can see.
Maybe
He's asserted himself into this.
A little preview. I love that. Thank you so much. Can you give us just one quick line from the show?
Oh,
Do you remember it?
exactly. I don't. That's the awesome thing about like voice acting is like when you're in the moment, that's when it all comes out, and like it's hard to recreate that later. Once you're in that like groove, you're like boom. Once it's recorded, it's kind of easy to implement again, but at the time, it's
You said the lines from your heart.
Right.
That's fantastic. And my last question for you all before we get started with the premiere, what can we expect for the future of Hip Dad Radio Productions?
That's the
Wow.
question everyone keeps asking. Of course, I know. It's like once you finally finish something, it's like, oh, when's the ne's season coming out? It's like, I'm like, yeah, maybe in like another 20 years or something. But obviously, this medium's not going away, and who knows?
Well, thanks so
We
much.
can't wait to hear the reception from everyone, and maybe there's more.
Let's have this come out first.
Yeah. One step
That's
at a time.
fantastic.
I want to tell when it comes out. Everywhere on the internet, March 12th. Everywhere you listen to podcasts, it's on YouTube.
The Apple Podcast app, Spotify, I believe, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Well, it looks like we have everyone in their seats ready to go. Good luck for tonight. Thank you.
Yeah.